Welcome to the College Football Bros. I am Michael Newman, and on today's episode, I am previewing the 2022 Michigan Wolverines. Coming off of a great season, Jim Harbaugh finally broke through, beat Ohio State, made it to the playoff, and then seemed to kind of want to get out of Ann Arbor on a high note, try and take that Minnesota Vikings job, but apparently they were not interested, so he's back, and I would be excited about that. If I were a Michigan fan, life under Jim Harbaugh has been light years better than it was under the previous two head coaches. But let's get into this year's team and start with the offense. I am very optimistic on this side of the ball. I know they lose Josh Gaddis, who won the Broyles Award last year, but I really don't see him as a huge loss. The first couple years under him, the offenses were a bit underwhelming, and they kind of last year just went back to Harbaugh's style of offense and had success. So while I would rather he not have left, I think they'll be fine without him. The best part about this offense, I think, is the offensive line. Should be one of the best in the country again, still very experienced. Adding Oluwatimi at center from Virginia, a transfer was huge. He was a finalist for the Remington Award last year, so that just kind of solidifies that group. And as far as the skill positions, really the only loss is Hassan Haskins, which is a big loss, but you already have Blake Corum at running back, of course. Donovan Edwards, the former blue chip recruit, should get a lot more carries this year. So still a great running back core. And the receiving group, I think, could take a huge step forward. Everyone's back, including Eric All at tight end. You add in some intriguing freshman receivers. And I think most importantly, get Ronnie Bell back healthy. That gives you kind of a true number one that Michigan missed last year. So that is huge. And that leads us to quarterback. That's, of course, the position everyone's looking at in fall camp here, because you have Cade McNamara, the incumbent, who led Michigan to the playoff last year as of course, he got the vast majority of the snaps. And then you have J.J. McCarthy, the former five-star recruit, who was impressive whenever he played last year. So we'll see what happens. I think you'll, of course, see both of them play early in the season. As far as who the ultimate starter will be, I guess I would make McNamara a slight favorite, but I really don't know. This is tough. I would like to hear from Michigan fans in the comments. It seems like Michigan fans would like McCarthy to be the starter just because of the upside, and it's kind of hard to disagree with that, especially if the defense takes a step back. You might need to really unleash that offense, and if your goal is to make the playoff, you could argue McCarthy gives you the best shot. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that quarterback battle, because I really don't have any strong takes there. But let's get to that defense. It's likely going to take a significant step back. They're replacing Mike Macdonald at defensive coordinator, 124th in the nation in returning production. Of course, Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo both gone. And just those two guys alone leaves a major question mark as far as the edge rushers. You're set on the interior, led by Mozzie Smith, who was Bruce Feldman's #1 freak, so he could even take his game to another level this season. But on the outside, no proven playmakers, so one or two guys are going to have to step up there. And at linebacker, you've got experience led by Junior Colson, who had his ups and downs as a freshman, but could break out here as a sophomore. The secondary takes some major hits. The top three players in terms of snaps are gone, of course, including Dax Hill, who was just huge for this defense. But they do return a few guys with experience. DJ Turner, one of the best corners in the Big Ten. Jimon Green has played a bunch over the last couple years. And at safety, RJ Moten and Rod Moore each played a ton of snaps as well last season. So long story short, I think the defense will be worse, but still very good. There's still a lot of talent, just a few question marks headed into the season. But let's move on to the schedule. The non-conference slate is one of the easiest I have ever seen for a Power 5 team. Colorado State, Hawaii, and UConn all at home. That is 3 nearly guaranteed wins. So what's nice is you get to start out 3-0. And then Michigan is probably favored in every game on the schedule as of right now, except at Ohio State, where they might be a double-digit underdog. But that doesn't mean I'm picking 11-1. There's enough games before that Ohio State game where Michigan is a relatively small favorite. So I think they're likely to drop at least one of those. At Iowa, they're only a 4-point favorite according to the FanDuel line right now. 6.5 points against Penn State, 8 against Michigan State. So there's some possible losses. This is a tough win total to pick. They set it at 9.5, and I think that's the perfect number. I am split between 9 and 10 wins. It's not something I would personally bet, but I'll say 10-2 is slightly more likely than 9-3. I think if I had to choose, I'd say losses at Ohio State and then one upset along the way. I'll say it's Penn State. I think Penn State should have a really good defense led by P.J. Mustipher, who was injured for last year's game, and he kind of really changes that defense up front. And I think if Michigan's pass rush takes a step back this season, like I expect it to, I could see a healthy Sean Clifford utilizing that really good receiving core and possibly pulling off the upset. So 10-2, 7-2 in conference. I know that's not quite as good as last year, but I feel like that'd be pretty hard to complain about if you're a Michigan fan. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you like college football, and be sure to check out the rest of the videos on our channel. We've got other Big Ten videos up. We ranked all 14 teams in the conference, so check out that video, see where Michigan ended up, and we'll see you next time.
You've been watching the College Football Bros. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and in your podcast app for college football content all year round. For bonus episodes and access to our Discord chat, join our Patreon at patreon.com/collegefootballbros. Thanks for watching.